Welcome back to Sunday Night in America. Sean Duffy already had one hard job as Transportation Secretary, and then the president has so much confidence in Sean, he added NASA to the portfolio. From brand new Amtrak trains to space as a battlefield, there's a lot going on. Joining us is longtime friend, former colleague Sean Duffy. Welcome, Mr. Secretary, from lumberjack to prosecutor to Congress to running transportation and NASA. People need to know, Secretary, you were not born with a silver spoon in your mouth. And the first thing you wanted to talk about tonight was truckers. So I'm going to ask you about truckers.
Truckers. So first off, Mr. Chairman, it's good to be with you. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, so we all watched this horrific crash in Florida where an individual who couldn't speak the language, couldn't understand, couldn't follow road signs, caused the taking of 3 innocent lives in this country. And so as we looked back on this, we noticed that in Washington, where his first CDL was issued, they gave him a full-term CDL. That's reserved for American citizens, to which he is not an American citizen. And we put out a rule, by the way, just backing up a little bit, Trey, in May that says if you got a CDL, you have to speak the language and understand road signs. That went into full force and effect in June. In July, this guy was pulled over in New Mexico and for speeding, and they did nothing to take him out of service. We tested him after the crash. He failed, full stop, failed, couldn't speak the language, couldn't understand road signs, and New Mexico should have put his vehicle out of service. And had they, we would have saved those 3 lives. So again, we're going to come out next week with some more news on this. But the bottom line is, follow the rules of DOT in your state, or there will be serious consequences.
And for those wondering what the Secretary and I are referring to, CDL is the commercial driver's license. They're hard to get, and you want people to be able to read road signs if they're going to be driving things that big and that dangerous. All right, let me pivot to another part of your job. 99 is really a failing grade when it comes to air safety. Have you seen ways to make air travel safer and more efficient in your months on the job?
That's a great question. So, I mean, listen, Trey, this air traffic control has been ignored for way too long. And so to get it back to where we should be in America, it's going to take us some time. But absolutely, we need new telecom. We're going to put in new radar. There's new flight paths and new technology that we can deploy that'll not just make it safer to travel, but it'll also make it more efficient. Listen, I travel all summer long. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of the delays. I'm sick of the cancellations, just like every single American. And so it's going to take us, a year and a half to start seeing some real results, probably a 3.5, 4-year project. But if we don't take it on now, again, Trey, I'm concerned about where we're at in America with regard to our ability to fly airplanes, and which, by the way, we have the most robust general aviation space, but also commercial airline space. And so we're going to take it on under Donald Trump and make this actually work for the American people. You know this. The big, beautiful bill gave us $12.5 billion, a historic investment. We're going to need more money, but we have a great chunk of change to get this process started. And again, keeping people safe and keeping them out of a 4-hour wait in the airport or a cancellation, making sure they're getting safely to their destination without any problems.
Mr. Secretary, what you just mentioned itself is a full-time job, probably more than a full-time job. Air safety, travel efficiency. The president has so much confidence in you, he added NASA to your portfolio. And I think it's important for our viewers to know space is not just the final frontier, it's a potential battlefield. What do you want us to know about NASA and where you want to take that agency?
So he must have thought I was Trey Gowdy myself, because I'm trying to mimic you, all the things that you do. No, listen, we are in a space race with others who are not on our team, maybe the Chinese or the Russians. And again, 10 years ago, no one would have seen the space economy before we had Blue Origin and SpaceX and others launching satellites into space. But it is a robust industry right now. We want to get to the moon. We want to get to the moon first, beat the Chinese and the Russians. And when we get there this time, Trey, we want to stay. And so we're going to set up a base camp when we get there. And what we learn when we go to the moon is going to get us to Mars and beyond. But Trey, we're explorers. That's what we do as humans, but especially as Americans, we're not afraid of unknown territory. This is the final frontier, and so we're leaning in hard on NASA. And again, NASA will do a lot of things, Trey, a lot of things that aren't necessarily in the mission. We are setting our course on manned exploration in space. Everything else we do, a lot of others can do that work as well, but we're not going to get bogged down by a huge array of projects. We're going to focus on the moon and Mars, and we're going to win this race. And again, I can't tell you what's going to happen to the lunar economy. Don't know. But I think it's going to be great. And also it's important for, again, we come in peace. We always come in peace. We never take anyone's land when we win wars. I'm not sure about everybody else. So I want to get there first. And I think we have the team and the technology and the innovation at NASA and in the private sector to actually win the second space race.
Well, I'm just going to take one moment of personal privilege, which I rarely do, and say how proud I am of you. We met in orientation in 2010 when you were carrying one of a dozen or so children in your arms, and I could not be prouder of what you are doing now. And to go all the way from lumberjack to district attorney to now running 2 agencies and doing it very, very well. Sean Duffy, you have come a long way, baby, since you and I met about 15 years ago.
Trey Gowdy, you're a good friend. I appreciate you having me on. And by the way, my hair is getting almost as gray as yours now. So I can't call
I got you beat there, brother. I got you beat, brother. You take care. We'll see you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.